in my bubble hat, and we're here. The guy put it on pole, Harris Beach. How are you getting on today?
All right, good today. Got a few sessions in. So slippy on places where oil's been spilled, but generally a good race.
So I've only got my pit bike on at Prescott. Obviously, gave you that extra bit of a push to go a bit faster this weekend.
Yeah, it helped a lot really. Riding different bikes helps you from different stages. So cheers for that.
Absolutely, mate. Good luck, mate. All right. Okay.
And I think we're about to go live. Thanks for that, Matt. We'll have a few more interviews as well as the day goes on. And we're away, and we're racing, and we're down to turn one, and they've missed out the bus stop for the first run down the hill, charging downhill, reaching probably their top speed, then hard on the brakes, tip it in to the right. I think they're still being fairly cautious here. I don't think that it looks dry, but I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit damp down there, and wisely these guys are taking it easy into the mountain section, and I'm afraid the camera angle here doesn't do that justice. It's steeper than you think. And then off the top we've got some landscape work that's been just started this weekend or last week. That's meant that the earthworks could do with a bit of grassing. But we're now into the infield section. You can pretty well straight line that set of S's, then hard on the brakes for hairpin number 1, hairpin 2. Open up the throttle a little, but you're straight into another bus stop. We'll let them come through, and we'll set this field as they come over start finish into South Bank Bend, opening it wide. This is the corner that Matt was his favourite corner on the calendar. That must be a hell of a corner to race at full race speed. Hairpin 3, hairpin 4, and then that is a lap of the Teesside karting circuit. And as they come through, it's Maximus Hardy on bike 77 in the lead from Chloe Jones, who's held on to a second place on the grid. Lewis Jones, Harris Beach, Ryan Frost, Kyle Tinker, Ben Watson, Taylor Rose, Sandy Horn, and Rossi Brown makes up the top 10 as they go down the hill once again. And there's quite a gap develop here. Maximus Hardy has pushed on and has got well clear. His lead was 2.7 seconds at the end of the first lap. So he's the brave one. He's going into all these corners with the track in the state that it is, and is discovering how much grip he's got. And he's a brave young lad because he's pulling out a lead here and pulling clear. Chloe Jones in second place on the red bike. Bike 15. And we run through the field as they come back towards start finish. We've got a battle on for second here. Chloe Jones and Lewis Jones. I'm gonna stick my neck out here and say that they might be related, but Jones is a fairly popular surname, so we won't claim that to be a fact. Although those bike liveries look surprisingly similar. And they're fighting it out over the hairpin, and we've got a change for position. Harrison Beach now through to second place. And he's going to lead them out again. And the lead now for Maximus Hardy is out to 3.2 seconds. He's made the start that he needed, and he's pushing on. The fight is over second place, which is now becoming like a 5-6 kart dice, 6 bike dice. You'll have to forgive me, I've slipped back into karting mode there. Into the mountain section, over the top. Goes light as they come across the brow, and then down the back straight, wide open. Maximus Hardy trying to stretch this lead, trying to get these points into his tally for the championship. It's a 10-round championship. 2 races counting towards the championship score for the round. 10 rounds counting towards the championship. This is round 2 here at Teesside. First round was 3 weeks ago at the Glannygore circuit in North Wales. Very different circuit, but that one is based across a hillside. This one has had basically a hill put in it to give it a bit of interest and a bit of elevation change. Matt's made his way back from the grid. He's just busy. It's a short run, but it is a run, and I don't think he's quite the athlete he once was.
Absolutely no. I'll take my bob hat off.
It's already a star on Facebook. I don't know why you've taken it off. Now Maximus Hardy has made a great start. His lead has been pegged now at 3 seconds to Harris Beach. And Lewis Jones has moved into third. Chloe's dropped down to fourth place, but is still in the mix here.
Yeah, Harris was qualified on pole, so I didn't see the first couple of laps. So hopefully he's not pushing back too much. But yeah, Max Hardy's definitely pushing on there.
And the battle for second is going hard here. Harris Beach, Lewis Jones into the S's, then hard on the brakes. Knock it down a gear.
Yeah, down to third round here. Down in third. Some on Quintus' right hand to knock it down to second. I don't. I find he struggles too much speed. Third, keep it in third. That's the curb on the right hand side that some of the pit bikes you'll see going over later on today. To fourth back here. Riding fourth, just making sure you're feathering the throttle all the way around there. You see the lads pick it up, knock it down to third. This is basically one corner, where you try and treat it in one corner. Keep it in third round here. Round the left and then pin it. Oops, nearly.
A bit too much right hand there, I think.
Yeah, pinned it a bit too early maybe.
Now that track's starting to look a little bit dry to me.
Yeah.
Are we getting back to proper dry pace?
Yeah, absolutely. I went out, obviously been on grid earlier on, and the track's dry. If the lads went out and the intermediates or the wets now, they'd be just cooking them. And so, yeah, they'll be all on proper race slicks now.
Well, the lead is 3.6 seconds. Max Hardy continuing to just edge clear. I suppose there's no need to win this by 10 seconds, is there?
Absolutely not.
No, you want to win it at not quite the slowest pace you can, but obviously there's no need to go mad. There's no points for fastest laps or anything like that.
Not. No, you got to finish the race at the end of the day. Something that I've not learned in my several years of riding these bikes. But that's you see in the shot there. You got the Ovale and the Mini GP IMR 140. You got the two style of bikes there in this class. Out front you got Ryan Frost, who's I think he's 8 years of age this year, absolute superstar, and just following behind we've got Chloe Jones, again one of the superstars in our paddock. I think these two are definitely some names and some faces to look for in the future, definitely.
You can see that new piece of tarmac down on the inside of South Bank Bend.
Yeah, it's really grippy around there. So there's two lines. You either go really tight onto the grass, or you see some lads taking a slightly faster line, faster corner speed, going slightly out on the outside of that new tarmac.
Into the bus stop. Now, do you suffer with like a fall away because it goes up and goes away? Do you have trouble sometimes with the camber, with the front washing out or the back coming round?
Going around the bus stop?
Yeah, going once you're over the crest of it on the exit.
No, what you do on the bus stop is as we'll come around on the next lap in a minute or two, you basically try and keep it right on that and try and hit that first and hit it, but you go as close to the right hand curve as you can and straighten out, and then you'll see on the exit curb you'll see like a little bit of white tarmac on the exit, and there's like a dip, and so you put your bike into the dip, and it just and then you just follow that round, that camber round, and you just fire out, and you just pin it in fourth all the way around the left hander past the paddock. Yeah.
We've had a change for fourth place here. Ryan Frost has moved ahead of Chloe Jones. Ryan riding bike 24. Is that the Ovale?
That's the Ovale, yeah.
Ovale.
Yeah, Ovale.
I was going to try an Italian accent there. I think it was an Italian bike, but if it's Ovale, we can Tagliatelle. Lasagna. You didn't realise I was half Italian. So coming through to finish another lap, and how many laps can we expect in a race here? Is it time?
It's a 10-lap race.
It's a 10-lap race.
Yeah, because it's obviously it's quite a considerably longer circuit. We run 10-lap races on this one.
So we're coming through here onto lap 7. Max Hardy is nearly 4 seconds clear now of Lewis Jones on bike 76.
I think Harris is slightly catching him now.
We seem to have lost. Have we lost somebody here? Harris, this could be a timing problem. Harris is dropping down the timing screen. Is he still on? Is he still in that league group on bike 83?
Yeah, he's still in second place.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of a timing glitch here. But that happens, it's technology. And we are pushing the limits here of what can be produced on a small scale.
I think they're looking at the way of the rider, mate. I think they're still a little bit conditions are questionable. So they're definitely not pushing too hard at the moment. So I think they're just finding the way on the tyres.
Lovely pictures, I have to say. The setup that we've got here, we don't have a lot of cameramen, but they are well placed, and we're getting great video here of young riders learning the trade and having a lot of fun here as we come through to finish lap number 7. Max Hardy 3.2 seconds clear, so I think he may have backed it off a little and is managing this to the finish.
What you have to remember is Ryan going through past Chloe. Chloe and Ryan are off circuit. They're really, really good friends, but you can see here they're having a good tussle in there for 3rd and 4th. So there's no friends on track.
No, there never is. Best of friends off. Hearty handshake at the finish. So it's Max Hardy, Harrison Beach. We've got our timing back to where it should be. He's got the gap under 3 seconds. Lewis Jones on bike 76, running in 3rd, I believe. Chloe Jones has now moved back ahead of Ryan Frost on bike 24. Ben Watson, Kyle Tinker, Sandy Horn, Rossi Brown, Sam Laidlaw is your top 10. Taylor Rose, Corey Tinker, Ben Taylor, Harry Cook, and Fred McMullen. Our last 2 riders, I think, only managed the first lap. It is a good turnout. Michael Med on our Facebook. It is a good turnout. And is this the smallest grid? Are we expecting? I'm waiting for the cavalry charge of 58.
The cavalry charge comes after this one.
Okay.
So you'll have the stock 140s gathering now in the holding area. You can see him on the shot there. They're all going around. So yeah, you the cavalry charge, as you quite eloquently put it, will be coming out later on.
I'm just wondering about the camera that we've got down at turn 2, whether or not it's going to be showered with gravel as somebody goes straight on.
I'm just thinking for next year if we can budget for a trumpeter to stand on there on the pit next year as they come out and come down.
We can get sound effects.
I think so. I think we should do it next year.
So
definitely.
we're on the final lap here, and it's been a stellar performance. There's no two ways about it. Max Hardy, he got away at the start. I don't think he was our pole man, but he nailed that start. He's got to the front. He's managed it, I think, from halfway, and now he's 3.3 seconds clear and heading towards the finish. And just a couple of corners to go. I can see a few spots of red. It'd be awful if he just took his concentration away for a second and fell off. I'm sincerely not trying to curse him with the commentator's curse. I'm sure I'm going to do that at some point this afternoon, at which point we'll be beating a hasty retreat. Oh, right on cue.
Now,
pushing hard, perhaps, trying to close that gap to the finish.
you see the dad's running in to help out. That's Dylan Jones. That's not even.
So your race winner is Max Hardy. Lewis Jones has come through to second, 4.75 seconds off the lead. Chloe Jones moves up into third place. Ryan Frost. Poor Harris is slipping down the field, desperate to get back on his bike. He's on it now, heading towards the finish. Where will he come through? He's lost positions to Kyle Tinker. He's come through in sixth place. I suspect he's going to be a bit annoyed with himself.
Yeah, but also that answers your question on today. So you can bin it and pick it up and away you go again.
Exactly. And there was no amateur dramatics of rolling around wanting to get a red flag. And we've got a little bit of a technical problem on a lovely red Ducati-looking mini bike. Might get started and join from the back of the field. The field is away. We are racing here at Teesside Karting in the British minibike mini GP class. Tentative through turn 1, and I don't blame him. It's a little bit off camber, and we've still got standing water down at turn 2. I think it stopped raining, Matt.
Yeah, it's stopped raining out there. It looks like Max had a bit of problem getting off the line there. And out front, I can see what number we've got there. Looks like one of the Tinker Boys out in front, and Harris Beach close in second with Chloe Jones. See them all streaming through there. Well, Max Hardy, that's a real family event. They've got the father, the grandfather, and the grandson all racing on one weekend. So it's a great weekend, family event when they come down. And I've chatted to the family quite a few times, and the granddad's a real character. We did a radio show last season, and got a nice interview with the granddad.
And am I right in thinking that if it's a family affair, is it a barbecue in the paddock on Saturday night?
Absolutely, yeah. Barbecues and beers, obviously, for over 18 on a Saturday night.
Please drink sensibly.
Please drink sensibly.
So yes, we're having trouble saying that. We haven't been drinking. Coming round to finish lap 1, the field is spread out quite a bit. And we're just, of course, I think the first race was on slick tyres. They'll be on wets now.
Yeah, the first race was on the slicks, we're on wets. It's definitely Carl Tinker out front there now, with Harris Beach. And Chloe's closed up on Harris now.
Or is that Max Hardy?
Max Hardy out front.
Yeah. You need to tell him to get bigger numbers on the front Nassau panel.
Oh,
and he's gone down. What a shame. Come on,
right?
He's going to bounce back up.
Yeah, he's back up again.
Is he going to get back up on his bike? It was, it's a fairly low speed in the wet.
Yeah, and obviously with the wet, the bike will just slide and the kids will just slide. It looks like they can't get the bike back up and running, but I'm sure the parents will be down there helping out.
He's on his feet, a bit winded maybe. I suspect it's his pride that'll probably, and the disappointment of getting off to a great start and then dropping it start of the next lap.
Yeah, but Harris is out in front with Chloe. Hopefully Harris won't back off too much and let Chloe catch up too much.
If my memory serves me right, I think Harris might have had trouble in the first race. Did he go down himself?
I think he had a bit of an off in the first race.
Yeah. So this would be a good confidence booster for him if he can stay up and bring this through to lead the end of lap 2. But it just goes to show how tricky these conditions are.
Got a little Ryan Frost there on the Oval coming through. We've got a race over in France in August. It's called the BMB Summer Holiday. And we're hopefully going to have a lot of Italians, a lot of Spanish all coming down the Ovals. So have a look at the BMB website. If you're a rider or you want to come over to France, make sure you give us a shout and get yourself registered. Oh, there goes Ryan through. Well done, mate. That's a good pass there.
Is there a lot of contact between different national nations mini bike championships?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're building quite. I said earlier on today, we're building quite an audience over in America and across Europe now. We're one of the biggest mini bike championships across Europe, if not the world. I think we are growing week on week, month on month. And we've got guys from America. I flagged up a comment earlier on from Daniel McDonald. He's coming across from America to race with us in August at Wilton Mill. It's going to be a fantastic time across. He works with the actually races MSX 125s.
Yep.
The Honda Groms. He races those over in America, and he's been really heavily involved in building the mini bike scene through YouTube and through promotion. Oh, it looks like Harris may have probably come into that left-hander there. Let Chloe through. That's it. Chloe's out in first now. But yeah, I said John's done a lot of work with the MSX 125s in America, and it's going to be a real privilege to have him across to race with us in August, and we're all looking forward to having him there.
Now, let's not harp on the point, but isn't it great to see girls racing the bikes?
It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, in every one of our junior classes, we've got girls out there racing. I say Chloe out in front now. She's a real absolute superstar of the future. If you look at her technique, even in the wet, she's really smooth, and she's only been racing a couple of seasons. She started out on a mini moto with us and then jumped onto the mini GP, I think last season, and went out and put it on the podium in her first race. So she took really naturally to the mini GP, though the bigger bike.
And it's just a matter of fact that she happens to be a girlie. She's leading this race and she's pulled out a 1 second lead already. And it's Harris Beach in second place, and the gap that they've got on third place Ryan Frost is the best part of 10 seconds.
I don't think Harris is going to let her get away though. I think he'll be pushing on a bit.
So we're looking that we've got a battle for the lead, and I think that's a battle for third place between Ryan Frost, or is that Ben Taylor and Kyle Tinker?
Ryan Frost and Ben Taylor now. Is Harris going to look down the inside? No, he's been really tentative through the S's there.
It looks like Chloe's trying to push on here.
Yeah.
And you're right, she's very smooth, very balanced.
That's a really good line through there. We were up at Prescott Hill Climb last weekend, and Chloe was there, and Harris was up there with his dad, and we done Prescott Hill Climb last season, and we did it again this season. Prescott Bike Festival. If you ever get the chance to go up there, it's a fantastic day out. We had 40,000 people up there. Well, we didn't; they did. They had 40,000 people up there, and it's a really good day out. It's got everything on two wheels. We had a big V10 bike. We've got everything from the mini bikes, so big V10s, classics, TT bikes, things from the 1950s, you name it, it's there. So if you love things on two wheels, make sure you get up there next year to have a look through.
Is that running it as a competitive hill climb?
No, it's just a show. It's a festival, celebration of anything with two wheels really, and it's not timed, and you just get. Well, we got 2 runs of the hill. We were down as invited guests at Paddock Specials. So all of our kids got 2 runs up the hill, which is great because they just love it.
So it's sort of like a bike equivalent of like the Festival of Speed down at
Yeah,
Goodwood.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And there's no pressure there. You just have a bit of a blast in the sun, and it was absolutely fantastic weather last weekend. Bit better than it was this weekend.
Well, it was fine up until lunchtime.
I know. And then the heavens opened.
And then we've let you down in the north. So Chloe Jones's lead is out to 2.7 seconds on Harris Beach. And Ryan Frost is third, 11 seconds off. And then we've got a battle, just to say a battle, in fourth place between Ben Taylor and Kyle Tinker. Sandy Horn, Taylor Rose, Corey Tinker, Harry Cook and Fred McMullen is your top 10. And
there's Ryan Frost now coming down into the South Bank Bend.
That's right, on bike number 24. So what's the difference between the GP 140 and the Ovale?
Ovale.
Ovale.
Yeah, the Ovales are a bit more expensive.
Okay, it's Italian.
It's Italian. They are a bit more expensive. The Mini GP 140s. You've got Mini GP 140s. They're a bike from Spain. They're an IMR. They basically run the same frame as I've got on my bike, which is a CRF 50 frame with 12-inch wheels. But as you can see, obviously, they've got the clip-ons on these bikes, which changes the riding style. And with the fairings. But the Ovales themselves, they run on 10-inch wheels, GP0, or actually the tyres run as GP0, but it's PMTs. And so some of them have K-Tech suspension. Oh no, Ryan's down. But he's okay. He's up and walking.
He wants to get back on.
Yeah, furthest point away from the track.
Now, if we were looking for worldwide coverage, as we've been talking about nations, we've got Martin Clarence watching in Seoul in South Korea. Although it's bedtime apparently.
Cup of cocoa, Martin. You'll be okay.
Yes. Tuck in and stay on board. We've only got another hour or so. Have a late night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a bank holiday in Korea.
And we've got a comment from David Bryan saying, good coverage like Sky.
Well, that must be you, Matt. It's not me. It's you.
I wasn't going to say anything.
It's you. I'm just bluffing here. And it is great. Please keep the comments coming. Our setup is a little bit awkward.
And we've got a red flag.
But we are trying to keep across.
That's little Ryan. I think he's okay. Yeah, that's little Ryan. Marshall just checking him over. We've got medics. They'll be rushing out to make sure he's okay.
Now, there's body armour under those race suits, isn't there?
Yeah, basically.
For some of the bike,
yeah.
will everybody be wearing sort of like chest protectors and?
I don't think.